They stopped the fight. Look at the cut. Accidental headbutt.
It happens, does happen at this. It's unfortunate.
They sold extra tickets to see the graduate of Minnesota, this local product, Caleb Truax, in this fight.
That's just the sport. That's part of the sport, and you can't do anything about it. I feel terrible for the fans, but for both fighters especially.
So that cut, in theory, according to the doctor, it's so deep that it would continue to reopen.
Yeah.
No matter what the corner.
Well, we'll be back. Listen to the post-fight interview. This is a great disappointment right here. A fight that I was looking forward to. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. What was this, round 3? The cut happened in round 2.
The official decision, this crowd doesn't like it, sponsored by Mortal Kombat.
Let's listen in first.
April 23rd and rated M for mature.
Ew, PBC got that Mortal Kombat sponsorship. Damn, this is fucked up.
And because 4 full rounds have not been completed, this bout has been declared a no decision.
Not feeling that. But you know, it's a part of the sport. It happens. We learned nothing. There's nothing to talk about.
To stop the blood, clodium to close it, or grease on it. They've done nothing to it.
But the doctor makes the decision, not the cut man.
No, the doctor makes to stop it, but put some on the eye to close it right now. The fight stop, get the clodium, and then the adrenaline to stop it, the clodium to coagulate it. And
let me mute right here. I want to hear the post-fight interviews. You know, the winner of this was supposed to be the mandatory for Caleb Plant. Now everything's all out of whack. So Anthony Durrell suffered a cut against Avni Yildirim, which makes Avni Yildirim get a rematch after Anthony Durrell versus David Benavidez, and now this happens with the IBF. So basically, it's the division is slowing down because of these cuts. You know, like headbutts. And it's a shame, you know, because it's a part of the sport. It happens. It's not, you know, it wasn't intentional, you know, in both fights. I forgot the Anthony Durrell Yildirim, that was a headbutt too, right? You know, it's disheartening because this was a fight I was really looking forward to. And I wanted to see, you know, if Peter Quillin was broken or not. Peter Quillin hasn't looked this. He just doesn't seem, you know, like the same. You know, he's a lot more cautious, but at this point in time in his career, he'll be 36 in June. 34, 1-1 now, and he's got, this is going to be a, what is it going to be, a no decision, no contest, some shit, no decision. But if you look, he hasn't really done nothing since fighting Danny Jacobs at the end of December. Deshaun Johnson, well known, you know, like pretty much journeyman. He did almost end Jesse Hart title shot run. Jillian Love, and then now Caleb Truax, and this happens. Remember, that's 3 fights since December of 2015. So yeah, this is disheartening because I wanted this fight to really show, like, okay, can Peter Quillin really like compete at this weight, and like, is he here like to stay and show us that like Peter Quillin is back? Because ever since he dropped his title at 160 pounds, not fighting Matvey Korobov, who Andy Lee ended up beating, who just so happened, Matvey Korobov, in my opinion, beat Jamal Charlo, who was commentating tonight. So Jamal Charlo could have been scouting the winner of this fight at 168, but also he could have been scouting, you know, the co-feature with Sergey Derevyanchenko versus Jack Couquet. Both fighters. Well, both fights were underwhelming, meaning Derevyanchenko got by, you know, with a decision where it should have been a little bit closer, where he was unimpressive. And now this happens to the main event, and then the swing bout with Joey Spencer. You know, all the makers to be a great card, but it just couldn't be. But we're going to pause, and I'm going to come right back because no telling how long they're going to be on commercial break. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. We cover every single major fight live. Check out our merch store, and also please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon because people have been bitching at me saying they haven't been getting notifications for live streams and whatnot. But we are going to be back.
Chris, thank you. Dr. Stringer, what was the criteria that you used to stop the fight because of that cut? First of all, this was an injury that was right at the eyebrow. It was a very deep cut that it extended down to the bony tissue. And
hey, leave the doc alone.
The blood was interfering with the fighter's vision. That was one of the most important things that why I chose to stop the fight.
And what did Truax say when
yeah,
you
look where that
asked him
cut
about
is
the
at.
cut?
That he could not see with the bleeding in his eye, out of his eye.
All right, thank you so much. Chris, back to you.
Okay, I'm ringside. Marcos Villegas, who also does our unofficial scoring. You went over, were able to talk, gather some information on this. This is a little bit it's happened before. It's just unprecedented in this case. As Ray Mancini was talking about, it looks like it's not bleeding now. And you heard him say, so vision is affected. We've seen other fighters with vision affected continue.
Yeah, you know, it's a deep cut, and you got to think, you know, over the long term of the fight, if it's a title eliminator, we're getting at 10, 11, 12 rounds. It could have opened up. It depends on how good the cut man was, but
there you go, Marcos.
Well, I spoke with the IBF representative ringside, and I asked him that very question because there was no winner. It was a no decision. Do we get an automatic rematch? He kind of
hesitated
a bit and told me that, you know, it depends on their advisory board. They have to vote on it to see if an immediate rematch would happen. Common sense would say, because there's no winner in this fight, you're gonna have to go ahead and run it back again.
Yeah.
There's no common sense in boxing.
Well,
and especially, like, how do you replace a mandatory spot? You know, you can say, oh, well, we're going to give it to somebody else.
Jim Marine, who is standing by in the corner.
Makes no sense. Let's listen in.
Thank you, Chris.
Please subscribe.
Jim, you're the cut man for Truax. What were you feeling about the cut? Do you think you could have managed it?
I could have managed it, but if he would have got hit anymore, it would have actually tore open a lot worse and could have done physical damage to his face besides that.
Yeah, would have got lower, right?
Do you feel like maybe it was the best decision then to stop this fight?
Oh, absolutely. It would have just caused physical damage to his face.
All right, Truax, for you, I know this was a big fight for you. It was an IBF title eliminator. It meant a lot in front of your hometown. How disappointed are you with this outcome?
I'm very disappointed. You know, all the fans came out. Minneapolis is great. The Armory is fantastic. And I wanted to put on a good fight, and unfortunately it ended in the second round or whatever it was. But, you know, I want to say to Kid Chocolate, you know, we're rivals in the ring, which is my brother outside the ring. And you know, maybe we'll see each other and do it again. But I'm just disappointed that I couldn't continue.
And how did you feel it was affecting you? Was it bothering you pretty bad, or did you feel like it was manageable?
I mean, my right eye, I couldn't see out of my right eye, but my left eye was fine, so I could have fought one eye, but I don't know.
You know damn well you can't fight with no one eye. Ain't no...
You wouldn't have been able to see those left hooks coming, probably.
I have to keep my glove up, I guess.
All right, thank you. Sorry about the outcome. We'll see you soon.
Well, ringside with Ray Mancini and Jamal Charlo. That's
Shit.
how bad it was. So, Ray, are you satisfied since you heard the cut man say, I could have stopped it from bleeding, but it could have caused further damage? He agreed with the doctor's decision.
No, I understand. I mean, it was a bad cut. There's no dispute.
So they're not going to talk to Peter Quillin? What the hell's going on? So, you know, yeah, that's interesting because, you know, like, what are they going to do? Say, okay, well, one of you got to fight the other top 3 ranked guy, Vincent Fegan Boots. Right? Fegan Boots, I believe is his name. You know, so unless he contests, since he's ranked number 3, these two got to run it back, right? Like, how do they do that? And then you got Fedor Chudinov and then Jose Utkata guy. Which other route are they going to? Which other route can one of these go? You know, when the WBC is already tied up with David Benavidez and Avni Yildirim got to get their shots first. Colin Smith, well, you know what's going on with that. He's the zone. Well, he's Eddie Hearn matchroom, but he can be possibly fighting Gilberto Ramirez. And well, they're with Peter Quillin now.
Your head. How disappointed are you that you didn't get the chance to, you know, defend this fight and hopefully fight for the IBF title?
Well, first of all, I don't think I think the doctor's job to make sure the fighter is safe, that's number one. You know,
True.
People would like to see this guy probably fight without an eye, but I'd rather see the guy be able to fight another day. What's more importantly, I think not me and Caleb got robbed. I think the Minnesota fans got robbed of this fight. You know, I know they wanted to see their guy. They was rooting for their guy to get an opportunity, but, you know, I don't think I don't even deserve to fight Caleb, you know, with this kind of win. I think I would want to do it again, either here in Minnesota or come back to Brooklyn in my home.
So you're saying you want a rematch. How soon would you want to do that? I know you guys had a long training camp. This fight's been announced for a while, but you guys only went 2 full rounds. When would you like to fight him again?
Well, let him get stitched up. You know, me and my trainer, we be back in the gym Monday. We didn't even get the sweat in. We didn't get to do nothing. So I feel like, you know, we'll be back in the gym Monday. We're going to just be dedicated. You know, we'll wait for the phone to ring, and we'll figure out what the ideas and what my career going to be looking like for the future.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good rest of your night. Chris, back to you.
I really appreciate the...
Yeah, let's stop right there. I think, I personally think that they should keep Peter Quillin active. And Truax needs to heal up. And then, you know, they got to run it back. But who does, you know, Peter Quillin fight? You know, maybe bring him back on the undercard of, you know, on some quick shit. You know, throw him on Wilder Brazil. You know, even if it is like, you know, like just something to keep him busy. Even though fans may say, how the fuck you go from Truax to fighting that? Maybe that may not work out, especially with the way, you know, boxing fans are these days. But it's a shame. You know, the biggest question is what's going to happen now with the IBF? And what's going to happen now with Caleb Plant? Who is he going to fight? And will he fight, you know, could Peter Quillin just go ahead and get the shot against Caleb Plant? That can also happen because Caleb Truax got to heal up. Or what if the IBF says, okay, well, Caleb Truax has to heal up, so we're going to order Peter Quillin versus Vincent Vegan Boots for the or Peter Quillin versus Fedor Chutinov or Uzkat the guy for that, you know, and then the winner has to fight Caleb Plant, and then, you know, Caleb Truax has to be the mandatory, like a second mandatory, some shit when he returns from his cut. They could do some shit like that. But disappointing nonetheless. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. We cover every single major fight live. Check out our merch store right down below in the description box. Podcast is launching very, very, very soon. Call-ins, all of that. We're going on Patreon to be able to do film studies. It's a lot going on. All right? Please subscribe.